Hello and welcome to Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society of the White Mountains. I'm your host, Mike Bosley. We'll be joined in just a moment by Deena, Debbie, and our local celebrity, Cammie. If you haven't heard Cammie's story, she looked at me like, what? We will talk about that story in just a little bit. But first, we're going to go into Bosley's pet peeves. Now, Bosley's Pet Peeves is merely my opinion, not the opinion of the board nor the Humane Society or anybody official, really. It's just me. So, you know what I can't stand? I cannot stand people that park all weird and then get out of their vehicle and walk away. You knowingly parked like a jerk face. Out of the 150 cars in the parking lot, you're the only one that can't park straight. Nobody's a perfect parker, but let me tell you, we all just adjust until it's right for everybody. But what eats me up more than that is actually people that leave their dogs out on a cold night. Literally drives me bonkers. Now, I know you're thinking to yourself, but my grandfather, he always left his dog outside. Yeah, well, your grandfather also used to drive with a bottle of Jack Daniels on the dash. We don't do that anymore. Also, people believe, well, I've got this warm little dog house. It's going to keep them warm all night long. First of all, try sleeping in your car with just a blanket. It's protected, but it's cold as crap. Even when I get in my car in the morning for that minute and a half, I'm freezing. I don't want to be out there all night. Or how about the body temperature is going to keep them warm in my little igloo. Let me inform you, there's some misconceptions. Just like everyone believes Arizona's full of cactuses, believe it or not, igloos, when they're built correctly in the native style, there's a fire inside the igloo. It's more than just body heat, it's fire heat. So, that being said, please bring your dogs in. Grab some doggy gates. I know that we have some at the Dog House Thrift Shop. Grab some doggy gates, fence off a little section in the laundry room, bring them inside just for the evening. They are domesticated animals. Please bring them into your domicile. See how those two words correlate? So that's today's pet peeve. And I guess, hi, welcome ladies.
Thanks, how are you?
Doing good. You've got quite the cute little fur baby with you today.
Oh, we got a beautiful fur baby with us, don't we?
Yes, we do.
So this is Cammie, and Cammie is a sweet, oh, she's just an attention hound. So this dog, as you can tell, she is limping a little bit, but this dog has been through HE double hockey stick and back. So tell us some of Cammie's story.
Well, she's still on her way back, isn't she, Deborah?
She is.
So Cammie came into us, she was in a parking lot and someone backed over her and drove off. Some employees where she was at, seen her, brought her right to us. And of course, obviously, she's had a broken leg. So Dr. Helzer did surgery almost immediately on her. I mean, it was a matter of days. We took her out to go have her surgery, x-rays, and she decided it needed to be fixed right then. And so she did the surgery, and from there, I guess,
time.
Yeah, time. She now has the surgery, that's healed, but as you can tell when she's limping along here, her paw wants to turn over. And so we are doing water therapy on her, and that seems to be helping, and we're massaging and stuff. So it's going to take time, lots of time, to see if we can actually save that leg and get that feeling back in her paw.
So one of my big things, I had my first dog, Sultry, she had a very bad leg injury as well. It's amazing the power of love and the healing power of love. If this dog had just had surgery and been sent on its way, I don't think Cammie would be where she's at today. It is due to the love of all the workers of the Humane Society, the doc, the techs, the kennel, everybody. And that's why she's where she is today.
Well, and what makes her even more special is when she came in injured, we could also see she had puppies. She was full of milk, and they didn't have any any puppies with them, the employees. And I believe it was 8 days later we got a phone call saying from some people that they hadn't seen, and they described her to a T as a mama dog. They found some puppies 4 days previous to the phone call to us, and they hadn't seen her for about a week.
Wow.
And you know, these pups, I think their eyes had just barely opened when they came into us, but these people really and truly were angels to these puppies because they taught them to lap out of a dish.
Oh, wow.
And at 2 weeks old, we'd have had to been bottle feeding these puppies.
Right.
But right away, she knew her babies. And she didn't have much milk left, but she immediately let them come to her, and so we reunited them as much as we could, because a couple days after that she went into the surgery. And then she had her sling. If you follow us on Facebook, we've got pictures, and we update her progression all the time. But she still had mommy and me time every day with the babies and taught them some social skills and all that. And so the puppies actually will be having surgery, and by the time this airs, they probably will all be adopted. Cammie, I have a feeling, will still be with us going through her water therapy. And you know, the neat thing, like you said about the love, is all the love that we do put into these animals. And then the bittersweet part is when she's ready.
Right.
And we find her that perfect home that she deserves, which she will get the perfect home she deserves. So, but she has just been amazing, has never tried to, you know, even in all her pain and everything, she's just grateful for everything and anything we do for her and her babies. So
now, we're always talking about looking for volunteers, and Deborah, you're the volunteer coordinator.
Correct.
Now, of course, there's ways to give and donate your time, but here's something that may not cross people's minds. If they're a physical therapist or a massage therapist, there is possible need for them at the Humane Society. I saw you massaging her leg before the show, and what healing powers are in that as well, and helping getting that muscle to move and regrow. And so there's all kinds of needs for volunteers. What other volunteer needs are there than the obvious there, Deborah?
Oh, we have a lot of places we can put volunteers. We would like them to come help clean outside. We have come and do a little socializing with the animals. We do have several that go to the doghouse and help Les out there, which there's always a need there. The place is pretty busy all the time. It's quite nice to see it that busy.
Awesome.
We are actually trying to start a little education for the younger kids too, so that they know the correct ways to handle a dog or how to approach a dog.
Right.
Stop from being bitten.
Well, yes.
So, but volunteers are always needed.
Fostering is another way of volunteering, huh?
Yeah, we have fostering. We've had an overabundance of kittens this year, so we've had quite a few fosters. And that's a lot of fun. The puppies, they sometimes go with their mamas, but since she wasn't doing the feeding them, they just stayed with us, and so we made sure that they were getting enough nutrients and food.
Now, I know that new volunteers go through an orientation and this sort of stuff. Is that orientation once a month, or how often is this orientation that we can get new volunteers into the system and help and save lives?
Okay. Well, now our summer volunteers have all went back to where it's really warm, and I just had an orientation on Saturday, which I had 12, and these volunteers are in this area, and that's what we're looking for, ones that are going to be here through the winter, because we do need the help all the time. It's 24/7. You know, volunteers are great people. I always tell them, I'm going to say thank you so many times you'll get tired of it. But they're okay with it, and I like saying thank you, especially when they come in and give their time. You know.
And it saves lives for sure.
So at this point we do, I do 2 orientations, one at the doghouse, so that we can go through the doghouse and see what areas are needed, and then we have one for the shelter. The shelter, once we do an orientation for the animals there, then if they signed up to be off-site adoptions, then that's where Terry Bankert takes over and does a little class on that, so that they can go out and help her with adoptions that are outside of the area.
Okay.
So, but right now it's once a month.
Okay.
I'd love it to be more than that. The more the merrier. Volunteers do it on their own time, so I really don't tell them. I just say, 4 hours a month's all we ask. It's not a lot.
No, no.
4 hours a month adds up.
Yes, it does.
All the hours that we get, that helps with our grants.
And I know that it's going to hurt small businesses. We've got the minimum wage increase. Doghouse, the shelter, we need all the help we can get.
We do. And another way of volunteering, and Deborah, I'm sure will go, yep, it is fundraising.
Yes.
Yes.
Like last weekend, a bunch of volunteers went down to Phoenix and we did the Strut Your Mutt.
Yep.
There were 12 or 13 of us on our team that strutted our mutt. And that was another fundraiser for our shelter through Best Friends out of Utah. And we actually raised over $4,500 for our shelter.
Did you get any prizes this year?
You know what? They didn't do the Spirit Award that they gave us last year.
Really?
They did not do that prize.
Rule changers.
But we had a good time. Raised $4,500 for the dogs and the cats at the shelter, and then they help with. I'll be looking for a new chair for Happy Tails next year.
Yes.
So if somebody has some fundraising experience with that and they want to volunteer for that, Deborah gets a little overwhelmed sometimes. We go, hey, can you see if any volunteers or if we have volunteers that are willing to do? And she's like, okay,
I will try.
Yeah, and she does. She always tries and usually always comes through. We never know what we need them for sometimes until we have that need and we don't have the staff to handle things.
Right.
So, and that selling tickets, when we sell tickets for things, just anything that you can think of and that you're willing to give us your time.
Right.
That's the most valuable thing you can give us is your time.
Yes.
Yes.
And we always need monetary donations, stuff like that, but your time is priceless to us and to these animals that we're serving.
Yep.
Oh, man. Beautiful dog. Look, she's so relaxed. She's so relaxed.
Her hair's coming out even worse. Deborah worked like heck to get her brushed out, but because of all the water therapy that she's doing now, that's loosening it all, and we're just going to live with it, huh, Cammie?
Well, speaking of fundraisers, here after the break, we're going to come back and talk about the Humane Society's winter fundraiser. We're also going to kind of talk about the Doghouse Thrift Shop, what's going on with that, and a couple other topics that just might come up. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society of the White Mountains. I'm Mike Bosley, we've got Deena, we've got Deborah, and of course, our local shelter celebrity, Cammie. Now, as we were saying before the break, fundraising is just a huge part of what we do. There's so much. You've got the employees, you've got the lights, you've got the water bill, you've got all the bills, and so fundraising is a major important. Now, granted, a couple months ago we did Happy Tails, and we did really well at Happy Tails, and that's a huge, awesome boost that really keeps the shelter going, but we still always need a little more. Inflation and that sort of stuff, it's always going up. So the Humane Society is doing something new. A winter raffle?
Yes.
Okay, what does this entail?
So we have a winter raffle this year, and it's sponsored by Chrissy Allmore at Chrissy Ski and Board and Diane and Matt Bulichek at Ponderosa Transport.
Okay.
So they have come up with, we are selling raffle tickets for $10.
Okay.
And you can win actually 3 different things. We're going to draw 3 different things. The first prize is going to be a 2019-2020 season ski pass.
Okay, that value's somewhere between $600 and $800. I haven't priced season passes in a couple years, so that's a great prize.
Right, and the second one is a 1-day board or ski rental from Chrissy.
Okay, that's easily $50 by the time you get the boots, the board, and all of that.
Yeah, so I mean, for your $10 investment. And then the third prize is a $25 gift card to the Poor Station with you.
I've heard that coffee's pretty good. So all 3 of these prizes are pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
And it's only $10.
$10.
Okay, so where can anybody get these?
Okay, so we have tickets available at the doghouse, at the shelter, at PetSense, and then some volunteers.
Volunteers,
I mean,
board members.
Yeah, exactly. The board members are helping with this again. Actually, the board members help us with everything. But you could even call it in if you're from out of town or something. Call our front office.
Yep.
Give them your payment over the phone.
That's right.
And we will put your name in and send you your ticket stubs. $10, and we talk about this fundraising, and this is every day. Fundraising has to be every day, and that's why we have our doghouse.
Right.
So our doghouse is our everyday fundraiser, but a lot of people are under the misconception that we're funded by some of the national or state organizations, and we're not. We are self-supporting through our doghouse, our fundraisers, minimal grants, and of course the donations. We cannot survive without these things.
It's, that you have the $10 that somebody's going to get a raffle ticket with.
Right.
That $10 obviously stays at the shelter. It's a dog blanket. It's a power bill. It's
laundry soap to keep their bedding clean.
the water bill so she can have her water therapy.
Absolutely.
I mean, so it's all right here. It doesn't go to administrative all the blah, blah, blah.
And it doesn't, we don't send it to anyone else other than right here local. Everything we do is at a local level. It's the only local humane society, and all that money stays right here with us. And of course, like you said, I did some figures, I think it was back in July, and through the end of July, it was costing us $1,970 a day to keep our organization open for these animals.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
Wow.
And that's why we need people. We need people that can help us, that can buy raffle tickets, that can send us $5. Every dollar adds up.
Right.
If everybody here were to send us $5 a month, if everybody in this community, think of what we could do
with $5
exactly
times. I know that there's some roughly 20,000 people in the Show Low Pine Top area. I mean, wow. What a huge help that would be. $5, not much. And as a coffee shop owner, I'm going to say this, it's a cup of coffee.
Right. Give up 1 cup of coffee or 1 burger or something a week and send us $5. Wouldn't that be great? Maybe that's what everyone needs to consider going into the holiday seasons.
Well, a little preview ahead. Usually at the beginning of the year, you have another fundraiser, and it's the No-Show Fur Ball.
Yes.
And that's a great way to give any denomination, whether it's 5, whether it's 10.
Right.
And it's out there. So there's all kinds of ways to be a part of the Humane Society.
Absolutely. And if people haven't already checked out our website at hswm.org or are following us on Facebook, we
follow on Facebook. There is some awesomely cute photos, amazing stories with all the crap on Facebook about political. It's nice to see some good puppy stories, and you see them on the Humane Society's Facebook page.
You do, and like her babies. I posted updates about her and her babies every week, and before her, our needs, and everyone watches those sad commercials on TV and says they're so sad. We could make those commercials, and people have a hard time believing that we have those problems up here, but we do. Before Cammie was Faith. Everyone that followed us on Facebook, remember poor little Faith? She was split open from a blunt force trauma of some sort, and all the way down to her skull. And the worst of it was she was only 8 to 10 weeks old, and it wasn't her first one. She had already had scarring there from previous ones. So we could make these commercials, and that's why, as a community, this is a community problem, and that's why we all need to stay behind the Humane Society. For 50 years next year we've been in business.
Wow.
50 years, and of course we're going to be planning something big, so we'll be talking about that coming up. But that's very exciting, but it's also very sad. that the need hasn't gotten any less in 50 years. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. You know, spaying and neutering animals and proper animal care. And that's part of Deborah's also in her outreach, is why she wants to educate these kids, is proper animal care. You know, if you see something, how to handle it, you know, who to call, what to do. And that's why a lot of these schools hopefully will get behind these programs that we'd love to be able to have Deborah bring into the schools and teach people. Because as angry as we may get, lack of education can be a lot of our problems. So if we're allowed to educate the community and get everyone behind us, you know, on educating and just proper little things, you know. You talked about the pet peeve, your pet peeve, you know. Some people don't even think that their dog or cat may be cold, you know. We've had frostbitten animals come into us, you know, and you know, to know that they have somewhere to get out of this weather, somewhere to snuggle in, and water that's not frozen solid available to them.
True.
You know, so just, you know, educate.
Well, speaking of education, let's educate everybody right now. What does it cost, and what is the procedure to have my pet spayed or neutered by the Humane Society?
Well, Deborah, you jump in on this because you work over there too.
I do.
And this happens at the Paws Clinic.
Yes.
Correct. We're open for the public to call and schedule a spay or neuter. I believe that the spays are $65.
Okay.
For a cat.
Yes, and I believe the dogs are $75.
They range by weight.
I'm not part of the money part of it.
Yeah, she's
I'm
part of the surgery.
Surgery.
Yeah, the money, it depends on the weight and spay or neuter.
So is it just $75 you guys just do the dirty deed and then throw them out the door? I mean, or how does this, I mean.
No, and it's a little more than 75.
Yeah, but it's
Well,
like
yeah,
you said,
flexible
by
on
weight.
weight, right.
They'll call us, we'll set up the appointment for them.
Okay.
The night before, Sarah will call them and let them know no food, water. And then they start at 7 o'clock in the morning.
And they are animals, the techs there. Those ladies know how to work it. Those ladies.
They do.
Big, huge shout out to Lori and Sarah there.
And
Deborah.
Doc. Yeah, they're amazing.
So we get the public in.
How long is my pet down? Is the anesthesia got them knocked out all day?
No, we actually get started about 8:30, which is a good time. We usually have them start picking their animals up between 12 and 12:30.
Okay. So it's just a couple hours, and then we pick up the dog, and she is a happy, healthy. Now, there's several health benefits of having your animal spayed or neutered. What are some of those, other than the non-humping the big teddy bear?
Well, the females, the hormones, you know, wanting to be pregnant. So once they get spayed and neutered, it totally stops that. They don't want to have babies no more.
Okay.
And the mammary cancer that can come.
And several cancers can come with not being spayed or neuter. And it's the same one with the boy dogs. They can get testicular cancers. Just the same thing. They have those hormones running.
Which is way more than $75.
Yes.
I can only imagine the cost of having testicular cancer is going to be a little more than just that minor little fee.
And they will end up neutered with that too.
Right. The end result still happens either way.
A lot of things that people don't understand also, once your animal is spayed or neutered, they can still breed. They need to be safe and make sure that they do not breed within 2 weeks from that time.
Until all that testosterone and hormones get out of their system.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Isn't that interesting?
I guess I get that.
Some people don't understand that, but and that can actually hurt the female dog. It could kill her.
Oh, wow.
So we always make sure that they know, it still is a possibility. There's still those hormones in there for at least a couple of weeks.
Okay.
So So
it's really easy to get your dog spayed or neutered. Just call and make an appointment.
368-5295.
One more time, say that, because
368-5295.
Or go on to the Humane Society of the White Mountains website. Check out their Facebook. Like we said, there's lots of awesome stories. Also, make sure and check out and look for the tickets for the Winter Raffle. Once again, it's a season pass to Sunrise is first place. Second prize is a board or ski rental from Chrissy's Board Shop. And third prize is a $25 gift certificate to the Poor Station. So keep your eyes and open for that. The newsletter is supposed to be coming out soon,
I just want everyone to know, too, this drawing's December 14th. So it's in time in case you're buying it for potentially hoping to win a Christmas ski pass for somebody.
Right. Okay. So that's good to know.
It'll
I guess
be at 1 o'clock at PetSense.
Okay, at PetSense. Big, huge thanks to PetSense. They do a lot for the Humane Society.
Yes.
Big shout out to them with all of our adoptions and everything else we do.
Yes. And the newsletter is all to the publisher, so that will be coming out next month also.
All right. Now, as we approach the holiday season, you want to tell us about the hours of the doghouse?
Yes, the doghouse and the shelter will be closed Thanksgiving Day, which I believe is the 26th of November. And then they'll both be open the day before and the day after for business again.
I almost want to say it's the 28th.
Oh, and you could be right.
I could be because
it's the last Thursday of the month.
My birthday is the 29th, and I think this year it's actually fallen on.
Well, then you should know this. Yeah, you're right.
I think it's the 28th this year, people.
He's got to be the correct.
Now, that being said, just because the shelter and the doghouse thrift shop are closed does not mean that our workers and our volunteers are still taking care of a full shelter.
Absolutely. Yep. Over at the shelter, they're there 365 days a year.
When I was there cleaning up one Saturday, I saw the worker walking around and feeding. So, I mean, despite the holidays, they're still going to be taken care of just as much as they would any other day. Last comments, real quick. Anything you'd like to mention?
So maybe if someone's alone during the holiday season, during the holidays, people want to give back. Maybe consider coming out and helping us with dishes and laundry while they're there taking care of the pets that day or something.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. And they would contact Deborah to get all of that volunteer stuff in line.
Absolutely.
That's going to do it for us this month. Happy holidays. We'll see you next month. And this young lady will probably be much farther along. Her puppies will probably be adopted. And of course, just another awesome Humane Society of the White Mountains love story. That's going to do it for us, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.